As a performer, your body is there.
Hi, I'm Mad Kate, and you're listening to S.W.E.A.T, Sex, Work, Extraction, Art, Theatrics. S.W.E.A.T is a series of conversations about performance and performativity of the sexual and sexualized body at work, where work is defined as the labor of survival, the labor of care, creativity, and capital A, art. How exactly do we define our work, and how does that work entangle and circumscribe our sexual identities, our creative lives, and the ways in which we provide care? How do we perform? Tasks, acts of care, and identities. My hope is that these conversations are a mean to speak between intersectionalities by anchoring in common space, as sexualized bodies, as working bodies, as artistic bodies, as performative bodies.
When I'm not the artist, I think I have to just survive. When I'm an artist, I think I have more power to control the situations, especially when I perform, that I'm aware of the environment and then I have a little bit more power to control.
Today I'll be sharing a conversation I had with Hiroko Tsuchimoto. She's a Japanese-born, Stockholm-based artist caring about and working with humans and more than human entities. Over the past 10 years, she's been producing performances with audience participation, both on stage and in public spaces. Yet her interest is currently shifting from front stage to rehearsals and behind the scenes, from egology to ecology, from production-oriented to research-based, and from watering houseplants to touching soil.
Being an artist, sometimes I get invited to embassy or I get invited to fancy press, but also lots of self-organizing, invisible work. But still, the artist has community and also the history and institutions around that support me to survive as human, let's say. But this day job, I think I feel not fully human there.
In this conversation from 2021, sitting in the residency house of Perfo Craze International in Kumasi, Ghana, you might hear the sounds of domesticity, of daily care, of a baby crying, of the rain pouring down. Sitting there, I asked Hiroko to think about the moment that she became an artist and what allowed her to transition from the identity that was not artist to the identity that is artist. What gives a body the power to call oneself into the subjectivity of capital A, artist?
I consider that the 2008 is the first year I kind of accepted, or I could say that I'm an artist because I had exhibition. At the beginning, I start study textile in art school, so it was more craft practices. But then step by step, I switching into performance art, let's say. So I used my presence. I don't know if I use a body, but it's like a presence in my work quite often. When I'm not the artist, I think I have to just survive. When I'm an artist, I think I have more power to control the situations, especially when I perform, that I'm aware of the environment and then I have a little bit more power to control.
Do you feel like you are the one defining yourself as the artist, or is this idea coming from somebody on the outside or an institution? Or
I think education I went through. Then I can say that I'm an artist because of that. But of course, I have another me saying that education is not the most important things. But I have to be just honest that since I had education, yet it's craft education, but I continue claim myself I'm a visual artist. At one point that actually people don't consider me as a textile artist anymore. So, of course, even though I said I had education, but actually I don't have fine art education. Actually I struggle quite a while to be able to define me as a an artist, not a textile artist or fiber artist or artist who work with textile, or just like artist is something that I wanted to be, and at some point that I decided to say so.
Does it have something to do with surviving? Are you able to survive from your art?
Not only from art. I had a day job. I still have. Currently, I'm studying at postmaster course, so I could get a study support. But then always like a constantly that my asking myself that how to survive after that. From 2012 to 2018, I was working quite a lot at the shop. I'm still working in the weekend, but I want to change my directions. That even probably I need another day job, but this job takes so much energy from me. But also, it's another type of body, but another type of relate to society, to Swedish society, selling a design craft products, also textile. So it's not considered as the lowest pay job. I think many people also want to get this job, but I could get this job because I get the support from like work agencies that they have a program for immigrants to pay part of the salary, and I could get this support from states. So I could study Swedish, and then I could work at the same time in 2012, when just after I finished my education in Sweden. Okay. But then it was huge transitions that I studied in English, but in English, like express myself in English in academic environment is another challenge. Also switching from textile art to visual art. And then plus I have to study Swedish, which I have no idea about this language. And then I have to start from scratch. And then suddenly I'm consider myself as an immigrant. Before it was like a student, international student, and then like I'm immigrant, and then I see another part of Swedish society that to spend more time with non-Swedish environment within the Swedish society framework. It was very tough, actually.
Wow.
Like I lost my confidence quite a lot. People treat me, I mean, a Swedish class, people treat me like a child. I felt like I never feel comfortable. Also at the job, since I don't speak Swedish well, people are really like, even now, people don't treat me 100% human, I must say. Even though I'm work at this shop almost like 9 years. So I have quite a knowledge about it. I know quite a lot about product and also the system. I have answer, but I cannot explain properly. And then I don't look like Swedish people. So people constantly asking like if I'm able to speak Swedish or English, or if I'm able to communicate even. So every time I work at the shop, I have to really calm down that I'm still okay. I'm an artist, and I'm not only working at the shop, like taking so much my integrity somehow, that just being. And then also I took a lot of responsibility to clean and organize the shop, because that is the things that I can contribute without any language. And I can be considered being good at it. Yeah, I learn a lot about Swedish society by working at the shop rather than being an artist. Being an artist sometimes like, I get invited to embassy, or I get, invited to fancy place, but also lots of self-organizing, invisible work. But still, the artist has community and also the history and institutions around that support me to survive as human, let's say. But this day job, I think I feel not fully human there. Yeah, I'm very tired of encouraging myself being there, actually. And I feel that it's difficulty to belong to Swedish society.
Hiroko and I spoke about English as a language of power and access, and about her choice to rather improve academic English than improve Swedish because of the access it might give her in the art world.
And the knowledge, to access to knowledge, and also actually power. But I cannot see that to get, I don't want to be a powerful person, but I think I need certain kind of power to survive. Otherwise, I constantly be treated as less than Swedish people. Probably I'm not able to reach that level to be considered as a professional, or doesn't need to be professional neither, but that just like, to be listened, to have a space to speak, to be treated as a, proper person. That I couldn't imagine if I'm in Japan, because I'm a majority and I know where I came from. I think I get a lot of benefit from my background, so I thought it will be easier. People don't discriminate so obviously, but it's just so like small details, small things that it's really trigger me. And then I question myself that it's my problem that to focus on small things. And it's very difficult to explain to Swedish colleagues. And also I don't have a vocabulary to explain. And there's no place to problematize those personal struggle, I guess. But then like the artist me is able to work with this kind of topic, or directly, indirectly.
Are there things that you feel you're able to analyze or think about that you experience in the shop that come into your work as an artist, or that you're able to process through your art?
I start to be more interested in the political aspect, of course, why this structure. So I also study immigration. Then I start understanding what's the notion of home, belonging, longing, diaspora studies and such. So then to listen to other people's experiences made me think that it's not only my personal problem. That was a big, great help.
Do you notice that you embody a different kind of body when you're in this work situation in particular versus when you're in your artistic body, or you're being validated as an artist?
Even within this day job context, I also change quite a lot. Sometimes I'm very, very like nice and kind, but sometimes I don't want to do it. I use my like lowest voice and then like, hey, really want to perform in different person. On the other hand, I think the artist me try to be funny, but also I'm also struggling with using the art world language. Mm-hmm. So it's I don't feel really belong to that neither. I feel like it's in a way it's very connected, like both same me, but since I'm using different languages, I don't feel like it's so disconnected. And then also I have this Japanese speaking persona, so I have maybe roughly 3, like Swedish and English and then Japanese, all different, I must say, of different purposes, but also caring other people, of how I want to relate to other people. The artist me, maybe I focus on like how can I carry out my research and practices, and then I need to collaborate with people, so I take initiative, or I try to be humble to listen to. So this is also like there's another role playing happening within the artistic practices. Yeah, it's there's own ecology within those three different me, I guess.
And in your Japanese persona, when are you able to exercise that? In which contexts, and how do you embody that?
I think that part is maybe I don't need to define. Like I have free space just being. I don't need to perform so much. Perhaps that's the answer. I don't feel like I'm performing.
And what about the gendered body, the sexualized body? How do you perceive yourself in these contexts?
I'm aware of my gender, which I belong to, more in the Japanese context. There is some kind of way to speak as a woman. And also the age difference is also very, very important. So usually when I talk to older men, then I have to perform younger women. But I think, so I'm more attentive about how to talk in Japanese. In English and Swedish, it's out of control. Sometimes I have to just, communicate, like to tell something I need to tell. So I'm not so aware of how to perform my gender within the context. I think so. I more liberate myself in English, or like in artist me and day job me. I think it's I'm more free in that way. But in Japan, I'm very aware of like how I walk and how I present myself. Also, probably my voice is a bit more higher than speaking in English and Swedish. I try not to take so much space as well. That also the body size is different. I'm taller than average, and also maybe my body size is also slightly bigger than the average. So I feel like I don't want to take so much space. So many smaller, thinner people around. Also, the architectures are smaller. The kitchens are lower and toilets also lower. So I'm aware that I'm a little bit more than average. Yeah. But of course, the Swedish environment, that I don't feel that way.
Even in the art world, does the art world ever make you feel like you take too much or too little space?
I often felt smaller space, maybe until a few years ago. But I'm finding my own space to take without any concern. But it takes time. That I saw this pattern that I cannot join, I cannot participate in if I don't express myself properly. But also, I change my fashion very consciously. There's a different dress code in different contexts. So I'm aware that I'm playing around. Yeah, I go into more neutral fashion to be considered as fully human in artist context. But also, I'm try to be neat at the job. I think I'm a little bit self-conscious that if I need to clean the shop before opening, and I'm convincing myself quite often that, but people don't consider me as a cleaner since I'm wearing this clothes. And I know that I don't need to care about it. I don't look down on cleaners. I love to clean. But it's just like I don't want to only be a cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I'm also signaling that I'm very culturally aware. Maybe I belong to cultural world. That's kind of signaling I need to perform with fashion.
What you wear at the shop, is it different than what you wear as an artist?
Yeah, it's almost same. maybe I change my shoes a little bit because if I'm really ambitious, I think it's more earthy tone, bluish, and lots of black and white. Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe if I'm really serious, I go into black and white in the art field and the shop maybe a little bit more patterns and colors and such.
Do you ever invite people from the artistic field to the shop?
Many artist friends come accidentally, so you work here. Yeah, so that's also a little bit uncomfortable maybe sometimes that I have to explain that this is my day job, and then and then probably they also feel uncomfortable to see me, so I have to just ease their discomfort as well.
Before this time, before you became an artist, before you were studying, or maybe while you were studying, when did you become a working body, a body that had to work to survive?
It's an interesting question. I started working, but just to save money for traveling. Mm-hmm. That was the starting, and I think I was lucky that I could do it. But then my first day job, it was night job, was it's called snack, but it's like a hostess bar. And I didn't know that there's big definitions. It's called water trade industry. That's included all the sex workers, the sex industries. But starting from this small, a hostess bar is also included. It's like a nighttime job. Japan, there is a daytime job or daytime life and then nighttime life. I'm selling different things in that context, not selling the food or drink simply. People come here to talk to me or talk to other colleagues. So I was selling more emotional labor. Wow. Yeah, that was my first job, and it's a higher salary than bartender or waitress. So that's why I sing karaoke. So I sing karaoke together with the customers. Then also they buy drink to me, and then I have to drink. But then it's becoming a hostess, more proper hostess club. There's also host club. And then going into more sexual part. So some places you can touch the body, or some places maybe you have more physical relationship with customers. And then another part is people come for more sexual purpose. So there's gradations.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And were you able to, or what were your particular boundaries and borders on this job?
I don't need to sit next to them. The hostess club, there's a sofa and a table, and you need to sit next to the customers. So there's physically close. But the snack bar, it's called snack bar. There's a mama and me are in the bar part. So we just talk by stand. I stand, not sit down next to them. So that's the physical position is very different.
Wow. And this is a known thing. There's codes, there's signals. They also know they come into a snack bar, so there's a certain limitation on what they can actually employ you for.
Yeah, they don't come here to sleep with me, for example. They don't have this expectation. And the snack bar is more local oriented. So the mama also lives in the local, so that mama has a local network. But on the other hand, there's a hostess bar club is more city oriented. So there's no such a mama who are locally oriented. Maybe the guy owns, and then the young girls comes and work. So there's not much local engagement, but the snack bar is you can find in small town.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So how did you feel like your body in that context was sexualized?
I was not required to wear a certain costume, I could just wear what I have, and then I have like a bit strange hairstyle at that time, and then like the mama have to explain that yeah, she's art student, so therefore a little bit specific style. But I am quite good at talking to the customers in that kind of context. So
Were you able to survive from that job?
yeah, this is more to get money for my extra things. So the basic one, it depends on, of course, family, but parents are expected. Many parents are expected to save money for the kids to go to university and support their living cost until graduate.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that many students cannot afford that kind of study fee and such.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have to work at night time. Like hostess club is a very, very not common, but place that you can earn money pretty quickly. But it's very demanding since it's nighttime. But maybe you can just work 3 days a week instead of every night. Then you get way more than you need to. Mm-hmm. You can get 5,000 euro if you are really good at it per month.
Wow.
Even so that depends. There's a different level of earning. Well, my snack bar thing was just a little bit more than average. It's not really good pay, but if I have to survive, that's another thing, of course. But then probably the salary is the same as what I'm earning now.
Okay.
At the shop.
What do you earn now, if I may ask?
147 maybe Swedish krona per hour.
Okay.
Like around 14 or 15 euro per hour.
Mm-hmm. Would you say you have other survival techniques that come to mind? When you...
apply residency and then artist in residency, and then I can apply for the grant from Swedish art institutions. Then if I have like one month residency, which can covered by art institution, but that's actually lots of process, and but I really want to change this way of working. This is not sustainable. Also, I don't want to travel so much anymore after this COVID things happened, and also the environmental impact I made while I'm traveling. So I'm thinking actually that maybe I want to do the education to become a gardener. I consider at least before coming here. Maybe that is something like I'm interested in, and maybe I can motivate to study Swedish and study high school subjects like science and stuff like that, or like biology or plants. But maybe it's of course like investment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe something I want to work with, like with my body. Also, the gardening is also with my body, directly touching to the soil and the plants, and but also have a critical perspectives on gardening. So I would like to, I can connect with my artistic practices, I guess.
It's interesting because it's kind of like a place where your worker and artistic selves could maybe commingle in this gardening.
Yeah.
Or in your idea of what you would like to be as a gardener, perhaps.
And I don't need to deal with people. Well, I need to do it at certain point, but I don't need to entertain people. I think I can focus on something else. Then I can learn language, maybe, to be able to contribute to something else rather than also consumerism, capitalism, one, of course, big things. And you cannot fully get away from that. But I don't need to facilitate that part. But maybe the gardening can be another way of surviving.
Yeah, interesting. Do you feel like as an artist you miss this? Are you able to express yourself physically the way you'd like to right now? This tangible, touching earth, touching plants?
I think I'm not able to engage enough to one place. I can research and, draw things, but I think this engagement, like long-term engagement, I would like to do it, like land and soil and understanding, getting more knowledge and also unlearning. I think artistic practice is a little bit more reading and writing and becoming critical and not much engagement on one single thing. I think I'm also missing touching things since also I came from textile background and I'm not really, crafty person, hand knitting, not that kind of person, but I miss touching with some other things.
You've just heard from Hiroko Tsuchimoto. I had the pleasure of speaking with her at Perfocre's International Artist Residency in 2021 in Kumasi, Ghana. You'll find more about her work in the show notes. You've been listening to S.W.E.A.T, a podcast about performance and performativity of the sexual and sexualized body at work. S.W.E.T was produced by me, Mad Kate. The theme music was composed by me and features the voice of performer and actress Lori Baldwin. If you like this podcast, please leave us a positive review wherever you listen and mention it to your friends. Thanks so much. Until next time.